Peace and salutations. My name is Michael J. Turner, the Southwest Shaman, the Earl of Arizona. You are now shining with the Arizona sun. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here, which is wherever you're at. Coming with love from AZ. This is StereoPHX 888, a channel about personal development, growth on YouTube, and how I'm changing my life from low vibe to high vibe. I can't save you, and I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I can share with you how I'm saving myself. And right now, we're having what we call high-level conversations, and we're talking about how, because my story is essentially a story of how I've alchemized my life and turned a bunch of just self-destructive years of self-destructiveness into something that I can use as fuel for myself, but also as to help people. So I'm finding individuals that have gone through the same thing. I'm finding individuals that are able to do, that have found themselves able to do the same thing, and it's just a great, powerful thing that I want to share, because these are the things that could reach somebody that didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I needed this when I didn't have it, or I needed somebody to be there for me like this when I didn't have it, if you understand what I'm saying. So this can be that for people out there, wherever you at, baby. So without further ado, my man Frank Lopez. Alright, what's up, Frank? How you doing, man?
Alright, good.
Yeah, welcome to the channel, man. This is something new for the man, you know what I'm saying? We out here doing this internet thing, making videos. It's all gravy though, because it's all the same thing. It's all art, you know. This is what we're doing. We can make art. So I have a few questions.
It's our artwork, you know.
Right.
Life,
yeah. It's gonna kick it right now.
Right.
So I got some questions for you, man. Some questions, and we're gonna take our time because this is a therapeutic thing, therapeutic conversation. And the first question I want to ask you is, what's your nationality? And there's a reason for that. The reason is because I'm from a multiracial background, so my experience is a certain way, and my perspective has always been a certain way. Like, I've never been racist at all until I went to prison. It was like a whole thing, but like, I know that based on your nationality or your background,
yeah.
it kind of like definitely dictates how your experience can be in America, at least.
Yeah.
You know, so for me,
like
I'm actually a black man, but like, I look white.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it helps me.
From the waist down.
Yeah,
Oh.
right, and all the right places. But like, it helps me to be white, because I am white too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm white. My mom's white, my dad's black or whatever. But like, it helps me out, bro, and I know this. I know
You
this.
get some Indian in you.
And I do. Yeah. So like, that's what and I love, you know, Native American people.
That's my representative right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's such a, you know, there's always, it's like Native American people, they don't, no matter what, the spiritual nature of them, it can't be taken out.
Right.
No matter what's happened over time and shit, and with society,
Right.
like that, they're always like that.
Yeah.
And they're always like on some whole like out there stuff, you know, and I like that, because
Yeah.
that's how I am.
Well, the way I grew up in South Phoenix till we were.
Or what's your nationality, real quick?
My nationality is I'm a Mexican American. You know.
You're Chicano.
Chicano to, you know, Chicano has been being moved out for the past seemingly like 7, 8, maybe 10 years, you know, and then there came a new group, which, you know, they call themselves THiZZ. You know?
Okay.
And that's all new to me because it took over places that I used to cruise my 65 Chevy Super Ford Impala.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and I had some nice wheels on that, the true classics, and it was the shit. That car was the shit, man. It was dope.
So they came you already established doing your thing, you had your culture, and then they came kind of pushing with the drugs and everything, because that's the only way that they were doing it, right?
Well, yeah, with all that being said, that was the takeover. Because that corner, 51st Avenue in Glendale, I noticed it first. You know, I grew up as a Chicano.
Okay.
Later on, probably in my 13th age, age 13, I was noticing the change in myself, from a kid that grew up nothing knowing about South Phoenix, 19th Avenue, Broadway, it's like the only thing I knew over there was the pool and Manzanita Raceway.
Right.
On 35th and Broadway.
So it's like the whole little world right there.
Yeah, a whole little world that, my dad would take us kids to check out the races, but then we took off and started playing and they watched the races.
So your parents, real quick, were both Mexican?
No, my jefita, she was Mexicana, from Agua Prieta, Mexico.
Okay.
And her blood was she's also Mexican American, Chicana, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's at probably age 15 I started hearing about it.
Because she was born here.
Chicano. And being proud to be a Chicano,
Right, like I'm born here in America.
Yeah, I'm born here in America, and when it started surfacing around that time, age 15.
And then your dad?
And my dad is from Spain, Madrid, Spain.
Like he came from Spain?
No,
Spanish.
His parents came from Spain.
Okay.
But they still would go back over there and visit the homeland.
Okay.
They're dirt over there, and over here it was like just regular living, for us.
So now, if you don't know, if you didn't know, if you couldn't tell, this is how you can tell the difference between somebody from Mexico, they were born there or whatever and came here, and this man is Spanish, you know what I'm saying, and Chicano, and you can tell the difference. You can tell looking at him. All right, here we go.
So and then my dad, they had him down as my pale skin shows that part of the Spanish blood,
right?
That we were light colored and to the skin change in the summertime, like that olive, European olive.
Yeah, that's kind of like
skin,
Yeah.
And so on the streets of from where he took us from South Phoenix all the way to Glendale. We lived in Glendale, and then we moved to Peoria, and then I ended up just living there and growing up there, and going to school, and most of part of my friends, because we're always moving,
Yeah.
But we went from luxury living to nothing, having nothing. But my dad made a lot of money in his days.
Oh, okay. So what year was this?
This was like 1968.
1968.
67, 68.
And what did you say he did? He did
he did body and fender.
So in 68, he's doing body and fender. That means he's working on like those classic whips that everybody loves today.
And he was top notch body and fender, and paint man, and he got it down to the T, where even OSHA was like saying, the first I heard about OSHA.
Yeah.
Growing up from 9 years old up, and then having a tough young life, having to defend my brothers and sisters from here.
Right, because you have how many? You're the middle, basically, right? Because you got younger brothers and older sisters.
Yeah, I got one older sister, and then I was next after her, and then my other sister was after her, and then one of my brothers, Rick is his name, he's alive still today. I had a brother that was shot, and he died from that shot. and point blank range.
Oh.
And so he was the baby boy, you know.
Okay.
But
Damn.
there was 5 of us.
All right.
And then when my mom turned 37, she punched out a little girl, you know.
Oh, really?
And that was a baby girl.
Really?
Yeah, and so she was like, she ended up turning out a gangster all the way live. You
Oh,
know?
wow.
Just,
Because that was years later.
Yeah, years later, you know. And,
different time,
different
everything.
time and everything. Times were changing, but I was down for her. I helped her escape from my dad's hand of, you know, abuse,
Right.
and stuff.
So,
Get him up.
when you came up as a kid, would you say having both parents that was good? That was a good thing. Having both parents necessarily.
Having both parents, yeah, it was cool, but
you said
started
there's like a division
some
between
abuse,
them.
Some abuse.
Yeah.
A lot of abuse.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
Went down there, you know.
So that's what you come from then.
And I come from, you know, being a family that was united, and, you know, and he was trying to keep us together, but he was going out and, you know, he was
doing things that were dividing you guys, huh?
Yeah, dividing us. You know, and today I use that one of the old sayings. You know, I hold on to those things. United we stand, divided we fall.
Right.
You know, and
do you think he was
being a person that grew up knowing that was wrong?
Yeah.
And then trying to keep the family unit together. You know, we just.
Okay.
Try to just play and ignore all that stuff.
Do you think that he was like conscious of what he was doing? Like he knew that it wasn't that it was dividing the family, or that he was just doing it, like thinking about himself, kind of?
He was always. When I was like 15, then I was learning a lot, and I could see the division.
Yeah.
There coming up later, you know.
So like he didn't care. He was like, yo, I'm doing this.
I'm doing this, and this is how my family's gonna be run.
Right.
And they're gonna do what I'm about.
He just figured that everybody would fall in line.
Yeah, and he thought that that's the way. Because that's the way he got in his family.
Right. That's how it works. That's always how it works now.
And he was, you know, they were using, when they played Cowboys and Indians, they played with real guns and real bullets and real arrows and bows, you know.
Yeah.
Cowboys and Indians, you know, and they'd be troublesome to the point of getting on a farm tractor, Massey Ferguson or John Deere, and they'd be going head on, you know, with all the tractors on the ranch.
Isn't that how? That's funny.
And breaking them down.
Yeah. Like people, you know, what back, and you know, I'm still part of that era too, where you go outside, you know, when you're growing up, and there's things you get into. So it's like nowadays, people are staying inside, and so it's like a whole different set of things that comes with that. Whether you're sitting around getting high, playing video games, or whatever you're doing, eating, fucking, who knows? But like, if you didn't grow up going outside, sure, there's shit you get into out there, like all sorts of stuff, trouble, you know. But like, still, you gotta do that, man.
Yeah, yeah. It was taking away. It would take away the thoughts and the way family was supposed to be.
Yeah, instead of being stuck in it like all the time.
The barbecues, family barbecues, started from South Mountain to down to the Kennel Park, you know, and stuff. Barbecue having with family and stuff started diminishing, you know.
Oh, okay.
And so
as it goes over time, it's kind of how it ends up.
It just ends up
people
like,
start dying, falling off.
Yeah, well, there wasn't too much death
things.
at that time, but later on, that stuff, that was another new experience, you know, to the days of me taking care of my mom till she passed, you know.
Right.
And she was, bless her heart, she was 73, and she turned out to be like the mom, you know. It's like, yeah, take it out. She rolls with bikers now and stuff like that, you know.
That's awesome.
She didn't, I don't know if she was earned any patches or anything like that, but she was moccasin boots she would wear, and her hair like braided with trenzas, you know, two pigtails. You know,
Yeah.
and a bandana, and she would ride on the back of her boyfriend's bike. You know.
So like, damn, that's kind of like your memory, how you she's like immortalized, like
Yeah. I mean, after the breakup between her and my dad, you
Yeah.
know, she was like searching for protection for us.
Yeah.
Later on,
Okay.
her telling me this.
Yeah. What
And she
stronger
was,
protection than the
yeah,
bike
because
club?
My but then my dad was coming around, and his dad raped my mom, so she was gonna go to the cops with it.
So your grandfather?
Yeah, my grandfather. Right?
Wow.
And so he came.
What the hell?
One night, my brother overheard my dad talking on the phone that he was telling his dad that they were gonna come and take out all his family, you know, just to get rid of us.
Yeah.
All, you know. And he was tired of
Because she
pressure.
was with someone else.
Because then she ended up with someone else. You know.
Or she just wasn't with him, basically.
Yeah. But same time, then the beatings got worse. You know.
Yeah.
There was a lot of letdown, you know. On
You
his
see
side.
what love can drive a person to do? Because look, love is like the strongest drug, almost in a way, and it's temporary insanity. So really, you gotta like consider, like, am I really in love? Am I actually loving this person, or am I obsessed with them for some selfish reason, or who knows? But I don't know.
And
People are people.
Right, and trying to come out of all that, you know, not really understanding all the way at that point in time in my life, even at 15 years old, you know. But when I was 15, a lot of that started surfacing, you know, all truths and
Yeah, and at the age around like 15, you're like starting.
And my
to
dad was saying that he'd take me to Tucson with him to work over there and stay over there.
Yeah.
Like every other month or something like that. And so he was trying to take me and change me and make me the way that he wanted to mold me.
Yeah.
You know, working the clay.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's.
I said working the clay for Pokey and Gumby.
Right.
You know?
Like that's never. Whenever somebody tries to force you to do some stuff, you gonna be the opposite.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, no.
And so he would scare me, and he thought he knew me that way. You know, like, oh, I got him now. Like, you know,
Right.
It looks easy and stuff. I know I would get him madder and madder. You know.
Okay.
And then thinking about that's what he's doing. He's like trying to make us all like his soldiers in one
Right.
way.
He's trying to use fear to get you
overcome
in line and stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
And so, but
Classic tactic.
I was not gonna be. This is not me. You know, you can't be hitting your kids with hammers on the head or wrenches and then just say it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. It's too weird. You know.
Right.
You know, it's not right.
What's
you know,
abusive?
Where's the love that mom puts into it?
Right.
You know, 'cause she totally was different. I mean,
Right.
She was a good-hearted woman.
You could just see that it wasn't right. Like the way he get down wasn't right.
And you know, when I was 7, he killed a man, you know, in front of me. And,
Is that right?
yeah, and he freaking got it.
Are you unalived him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unalived.
Yeah, you unalived him. Wow.
Yeah. And there was an uncle of mine that we were looking for both of them, and I'm right in between them, and I see my dad with a knife in his pocket. And told me never to say anything, you know, so I didn't talk for 3 years after that.
Wow. Dude, so you were 7?
I would answer like this, or no.
Like you just didn't talk at all?
I didn't talk at all.
Alright,
Mm-hmm.
let's slow this down here, man. You were 7 years old.
7 years old.
So for 3 years, you didn't say anything. You just only used body language.
Body language.
The trauma that this man experienced right there. Oh my God,
Yeah.
dude, that's just something. Right. That thing right there. See, we're talking about things right now that would break a person. Like, and this man's already listed a number of things, and that's how my life is too. Like, I broke down the other day because I thought about it. I should have, for the last 15, 16, 17 years, every day I could have died.
Yeah.
And I
Every
didn't.
day it seemed like I was gonna die.
You
I
know?
why does my life seem like it's only today, and then who knows if we'll wake up tomorrow?
Right. But you probably weren't thinking about that then.
I would think a lot about that.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, but then making it a new day, I made it a new day. I'd be looking at the sky and everything, and it looks so like how would I say this? Mystic, like.
Almost like more vibrant because of the new.
More vibrant, but
because you survived that day.
But it didn't look real to me.
It didn't look real.
And I had to keep it real looking through all the turmoil and stuff.
Mind, yeah.
I had to keep it
right because it starts to
run
look.
Around with my friends and play, and start going to the boys club and.
Because it starts to look like it's all a facade, huh? Like this is all a bunch of fake shit.
And I'm like, I was a kid that paid attention to the landscape and.
Yeah. So let's talk about substances. Like, well, what age and like which substances?
At 15, also I experienced smoking weed.
That's the first thing you tried.
Yeah.
Alcohol before that? Or?
No, I was against that.
Okay.
Growing up for a while there. I had my first pack of Marlboros when I was 15.
Okay, so cigarettes and weed.
Yeah, and so trying to keep away from the home front because, I could feel my dad wanted to take all our lives,
Oh, wow.
And so, and my grandpa, he came there anyways, he showed up, and it was nighttime, and they're both at the door, and they have the front door open, and my mom's runs by when I was laying down, and says, "Get down, everybody, get down." So, and my grandpa shot 6 rounds through a wall, and it came like this in a pattern, like it should have hit me in the chest, and it. Like divine intervention. Later on, I find out about that word, And
on your father's side, your grandfather.
My grandfather.
On his side.
On his side, yeah, because he had raped my mom. She was going to go to the police with it.
So he came and he shot through the wall.
Yeah.
Through the door.
Through the wall.
Through the wall.
Actually, a wall.
And you can see the holes.
Yeah, and they were made right there, and my mom's trying to pull me up and filling my chest from behind because I stood in front of her, and I wouldn't let her come.
Yeah.
Get in front of me until the shooting was done.
Wow.
And so I pushed her back, and
what the fuck?
And she kept trying to get me out of the way, and the pattern was right there, man. I'm going, wow. And I was surprised too, but I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking of keeping my mom
people,
alive.
Man, we're the real superheroes here, man. You know what I'm saying? You think it's a game? Nah, like for real though, like this is something that it's like, yo, you can't make this stuff up. Like this shit, and this is what lets you know at the same time that reality isn't what you think it is. It's not.
Right. Yeah, later on, and I hear people as I grew older, I was hearing people say, I had a good life after that. My teenage years started getting better and better through the age 21, my high school sweethearts, my grammar school sweetheart first, and then I was with her for like 5 years.
So when did you meet her?
I met her like in grade school. No, that was freshman.
And you were with her 5 years. When did you first have sex? When did you first get laid? What age were you?
That was probably when I was. I'm gonna say like 17.
I was 19.
17 years old.
I was 19 years old, bro. And I did it. The only reason I even got laid then was because me and the homies were going to Vegas, and I thought that I shouldn't go out there as a virgin, and I actually got a hooker. So, like, because at that time in my life, I was more focused with weed and music, and my personality was such that like I didn't like to be hugged and things like that. And my dad never taught me how to like talk to girls or do none of that stuff. He died, so That's how it went down, dog. And I was 19, and I remember I told my close friend that died, and I thought he was gonna like clown me.
Yeah.
And I was like, or beforehand, I was like, yo, I'm a virgin or whatever. And he's like, he looked at me, he's like, God's gonna love you for God's gonna love you for that shit, nigga. You know, he's a black dude. He's like, God's gonna love you for that shit. God's gonna love you for that shit. Because I didn't, you know, I waited. I guess that's what the thing.
Right.
But I wanted to, you know, I discovered porno. That's kind of what fucked it up for me, really. And I discovered porn when I was little because of my father. He left magazines out, and that was my first addiction. Before anything, for any cigarettes, weed, alcohol, there was that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't women. I wasn't like addicted to women, you know, girls. I was addicted to like porno, and I didn't know it. I didn't know all that stuff, you know. So.
Well, you know, there's.
That's
I guess good thing you were addicted to porno, but was it porno for the women or for the men? No.
Right. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe I suppose of all the things, it could have been worse, right?
The Playboy magazine, you know, like my grandpa then was the good years, you know. He was a welder, manual welding and fabricating back at the time. And I used to work for him chipping away that stuff after they weld, you know.
Yeah, the solder stuff.
And so anyways, then I found I'd go to the bathroom, go to the shop, and he had magazines in there, Playboy magazines. Yeah. So those were my women's.
Down the shop,
like, old school, Raquel Welch.
Right. Like how old were you in that shit? When you found that shit?
Suzanne Plachette. I was like, I think I was like real young years.
Yeah.
Like 9.
Okay. 10. Yeah. See. Yeah. So you're like, damn.
And, yeah. I was like, and they had 90s back then.
Right.
And
yeah, it was different then.
You know how the Playboy was back then.
Because it was kind of like classy and shit.
It wasn't like too much hustler.
Right. It was kind of classy. Like it wasn't all like super. Yeah, it wasn't super raunchy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And nowadays,
it was classy, and so I grew up.
Nowadays, porn's free.
I see.
And the reason for that is because they want you to be fucked up on that shit.
Right. Yeah, and that led to, you know, of course, you know, the guy getting shot, and today, you know, I don't know where he ended up, that hustler, maker of that magazine.
Right.
I know Hugh Hefner, he was like a gentleman to the women.
Right.
And I said, I want to be like that.
Because that's the secret. People might have thought that he was like a pimp or whatever, and he was a pimp, so to speak, but like, he only had that because that he respected and treated, and he uplifted them. He sought out their highest qualities, and he nurtured those big, you know, the strongest qualities in those women.
And of course that became my happy times, you know.
Right.
My happy times.
Of course.
And then I said, I can't let my dad see me watching this.
Right. You had to hide it.
Bathroom too long.
Yeah. You had to hide it and shit.
Like,
so were you smoking weed like on the regular or?
I started like on the weed was when I was 15, you know, and then taking coke, and that felt good, you know.
Did you smoke like all the time though, like right off the bat, or once?
Right off the bat, I started, and it became something like every like weekend thing, you know. After that, but not like every day, you know. Like later on, that came along, you know, the weed smoking, but I got. I think one of those times I went to a party and somebody introduced me to cocaine.
Okay.
And then I used cocaine and got drunk that night and ran across a field because my girlfriend, you know, she was mad because I was wanting to start a fight with this guy that was touching me. And stop touching me, you know, she's going, and so I had to get him away from her. Of course, that was. By then, I was had been protecting my mom, and you know, I didn't know how to fight.
Right.
When I was 15, you know, I had to later on teach myself at like when I was 19, 20 years old.
But your instinct was to protect her.
To protect the women, you know.
Right.
And because what I seen growing up, you know, and my dad trying to make us submissive to his way, and this is supposed to happen, you know. Cracking the whip and shit, but I called my dad the devil himself, you know. He chained up the devil in hell.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm running this show. You know, like, that was my picture, you know.
Right.
Like he traded spots with the devil, man.
Wow.
You know, and I started at 15, I was learning about the devil and the mother God and stuff. And one day I had to ask God, if you're real, I need your help. You know, because this man is going to take our lives.
Right.
He's going to kill my brothers and sisters.
Doing all sorts of crazy stuff all the time.
My little brother come to me and told me that, you know, and then he'd already had my sister violated by telling his brother to do that, to chase her away. Stop protecting him. Stop jumping on his back when he's... all those actions, you know, started playing part, you know, at that time, you know. And changing our lives, you know, and I wasn't going to let the death be part of that.
Right.
You know, and because if you're really out there, God, help me, you know. And this was through me losing too, and I go visit. Then I was looking for things to blame myself. Maybe they know about me losing or something, you know.
Yeah.
And I tried to keep that low key and stuff, but it had started years before that, but it was escalating. And that's why them signs were fired through that wall and never touching me, but they should have.
Right.
But there was no other holes in the back walls or anything.
So you were 7.
Yeah.
Got, you know, shit's escalated with your grandfather shoots through the wall. You weren't smoking then yet. Okay, then so boom, you get to 15, and now you're kind of smoking, and then you go a little few years, and cocaine starts. Maybe what, you were a senior or some shit.
Yeah.
Around that time.
No, I never made it to senior.
Okay.
Yeah, I
there
made
you go.
it to 10th grade, and then
so sophomore.
I started going to work because my dad taking off, you know, wasn't giving my mom.
See, man, this guy's story, you never know which way it's gonna go.
yeah, and then things just started escalating, you know, and my use got bigger and stronger for the cocaine.
Okay.
To the point where I met the higher ups from
The connects and shit. Okay. And those were Pisces, huh?
No, at that time they were just Mexican to me.
Okay. You didn't know. Okay.
But from the other side.
Yeah, you didn't have like a label for it.
Right. You know, and I don't try to label anybody. You know, to each their own. They do it to themselves. I am the enemy.
Right.
And you place that yourself on your chest, bro.
Right, because it's only us versus us.
And then try to make peace and show love. This is the way of my life.
So,
with love, you know.
Man, we've gotten to some crazy stuff, some crazy details, and I know your life is just full of experiences like this. What I want to do is kind of fast forward. Now we've established this man's childhood, you know, coming up to 18. Real quick, I want to ask you. Well, actually, not real quick. All right, the next thing. Let's just fast forward to like the biggest thing or things that you've had to alchemize in your life. And when I say alchemize, I mean turning it into a negative to a positive, taking a situation that's like just totally gonna break you and turning it into today, which is where he stands right now. What he stands within for now. Now he stands for.
As I'm smoking my cigarette with a straw in it because I can't stop doing filter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some accidents I was in, you know, and then missing teeth.
Yeah.
You know, whatever like that, you know, and that's bad on steak day.
Yeah.
You know,
dude, I'm pretty much right there.
You know, and so, but I thank God for the blessing you gave me, you know, to be able to keep my teeth till today. I'm, 65 from 3 days ago, and I kept my teeth, in check, and take care of your feet and your teeth, military used to say,
right.
Movies I would watch.
Things you need, like a motherfucker.
Yeah, survival.
Yeah.
Survival of the fittest, and
So what happened for you? Rather, I like to say what happened for you, not what happened to you. So what happened for you?
For what I made happen for me was started cleansing myself, you know, and after leaving high school and in the 10th grade, you know, then I bought my 65 Chevy Super Sport Impala, you know.
Right.
That was my first one, and then rebuilding it, you know, and changing, you know, hanging on to the good times, you know.
Okay.
And so I still had my mom and the family, you know, my brothers and sisters all back together, except my older sister. She stayed away, you know, working and living somewhere else. She didn't want to come back home to put up with any more shenanigans from my dad, you know.
Yeah.
And then him leaving, coming over to visit, and leaving a guy there for my mom to hook up with. So she stopped looking for him, you know.
Okay.
And through all that, there was gunfire. There was new boyfriend beating her with a bat, and me seeing her as I was driving home, you know, to check on things, you know. I had my girlfriend with me and my friend from the barrio over there, Peoria. No, this can't happen. You know, I got her in the car and then brought her the rest of the way home, and she was dragging a leg, you know, and she was all beat up, man, you know, from him. But she was going back home, and that's where dude was at, and I ended up getting in a fight with him, and by that time I had some martial arts in me, and I was good with it, and you know, we had our tussle.
Yeah.
And I beat him up to the point where she said, "Stop! It wasn't really him. There was somebody else who did it." I go, "What?" That's when I left home. That's when I left home, changed my life.
You found out that she was deceiving you as well.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
At the time.
So, but that didn't push me. I guess maybe that's when I escalated in the cocaine.
Okay.
And then, but still, I was working for Western Electric back then. You know.
Right. So you felt like you good? Yeah, I'm good. I'm
good, yeah, and I can still keep on doing my thing.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
I'm growing up now, and
right. I'm a man.
I got my own place, and
right. Yeah, you felt like you
went from there.
Had it going on. You're a man, right? Especially in now we're in like what 70s. We're in the 70s now.
Yeah.
So, bro, I mean, to work for that company.
Yeah.
And in the 70s, I mean, all that. Yeah.
I had some ducats.
Yeah, for sure.
Then I started.
Some ducats.
Ducats.
Ducats. Yeah. You don't know about that word.
Yeah.
Ducats.
So, anyways, then the high school sweetheart was started becoming a part-time thing, you know, and then I went out with some chick, and then she found out, and so that got, you know, separated. But we're still friends for to the day that I last seen her was my last haircut day. She takes me out to eat to this.
Go ahead.
To this gay restaurant. All her gay friends, every time I go for her, she's trying to, you know, embarrass me, you know, because I couldn't stand them.
Right.
But they later on, it's to them that
it changed. Yeah, your attitude changed later.
Attitude changed, but I never became that way. But
right.
You know, I went through that time, and man, why do these guys keep buying me flowers and shit?
Oh man.
Every time I take my girlfriend out to have lunch or something. You know? But then the separation came, you know, where she had to go make her career happen.
Okay.
And she didn't want to get married, you know, I had to ask her to marry me, you know.
Man.
So then I just went on with my life.
Oh man, that's tough, bro. Yeah. Like shit.
Yeah, you know.
The fuck.
But
women,
they're in need, but
complicated,
you know,
man. Yeah, complicated.
Their need wasn't that needy. I didn't want to become a needy person, you know.
Right.
So and I went and did my thing.
Right. You were like, I'm not gonna be like, I need this that bad that it's gonna stop my life.
Yeah, and I went on to like almost like GQ material.
Oh shit! Of course, you leveled up.
Yeah.
You were like, yeah, I'm shit. What's going on? That's what's up, man. I fucking leveled down after after my big breakup. I leveled down. I was like,
I said, man, I got a bunch of girlfriends, and I'm going like,
right.
But most of them were just my friends. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like just
seeking that.
But I wasn't bumping and grinding all that much. You know, I was just
hell yeah,
like
man.
a friend. I made
fucking
women my friends. You know,
good type of dude, man.
You know,
that's what's up, bro.
Bringing up my heart into it, and
yeah.
And
see,
women would run
uncommon, very uncommon
to protect me, protect them
right.
from any of their beings. So that was my path, I figured.
Right, your intentions were to be there.
Goodness in the world. Still,
right. Yeah.
You know?
Not to take advantage of them, or because you wanted something from them.
Right, and so, but then I started seeing, you know, why are they choosing? When I started losing that curve,
other men.
Why are they choosing that kind of life?
Okay, yeah, like dudes that are treating them like shit.
You know, and
yeah,
doing my
what's up with that, ladies?
You know,
what's up with that?
I mean, the man that beats on a woman is no man at all. I say.
Right.
You know, but women have to start something though.
Right. Women, y'all do it on purpose, but then
Then we don't know. I don't know. I had to decipher with those so many stories. There's two sides to every story. You know.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And anything else is they're the storytellers.
Yeah. So.
You know, and I call those. If you're gonna lie about why you do the things you do, and you're gonna respect that lie, then you become a liar.
Hold on.
By that time, I already knew
about the things you do, and then you say it again.
You become a liar.
If you respect,
you
respect the lies. Okay, if you lie about the things you do and you respect those lies, you become.
And you override anything that is like the drugs and stuff. By that time, I'd already like at 21, 22 years old. I quit doing cocaine. I would still get high.
Okay.
Weed, you know,
and at that time, that was like this motherfucker's doing some shit. He's smoking weed, like days, like this guy's.
And I was doing everything, you know.
Yeah.
But then when I put some cocaine away, I rolled good for maybe the next 5 years after that, and still kept my high school sweetheart as my friend.
And how did you just said one day like I'm good on the coke, or it was like a gradual thing?
I stopped that.
See that, man?
After I freebased, you know.
Simple as that, like just like yo, I'm good on this.
You know, and moved on.
Okay, so that's how you do it.
3 to 5 years later, I found speed.
Okay, boom.
Uh-oh. I threw a wrench in the fire of life, you know.
Yeah, the world's coming at you. Like here's another thing.
It's going too fast for me, you know, and they're going. So I had to go out and get a fast car, and it was a 79 Trans Am.
Now you're making decisions that are like.
And slowed my drinking, but then.
And we're talking speed in is it the 80s now, or we're talking that real deal Holyfield biker shit, you know.
Biker stuff and weed and still dabbling in the weed.
Good job. Kept the job.
You know, just kept the job. I still had my job till.
Sky flying solo dolo.
Yeah. In '89 is when the last year of that job.
Right.
That job was monopolizing. I guess the company was monopolizing the phone world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a telephone cable.
Okay.
Making place, you know. But it was good money and everything, and I was there for.
So why did it end in '89? The job
they ended up because layoff.
They laid off.
And
Because of those
other
reasons.
companies wanted to get in on the deal, making their phones, and wireless.
So what did you
stuff,
do next? What did you do after that?
I just moved on I said, nah, that was the second strike I'd been in, for the company, when they were trying to,
Right.
Unions would try to get more money out of them.
Right.
For us and stuff. And it was a good money making place. That was like top notch.
Right. So what was your next move after that?
I decided to just start my own business.
Oh shit.
Started doing landscaping and stuff.
Nice. Okay.
And that was, like I said,
always a thing, man. You could landscaping is always a thing.
Yeah, I mean now it's big all over.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's hard to get into now.
Yeah.
It's still like you can.
You
don't need much skills. You can just start it off, kind of. You know, a few people. You can.
And prices are like big deal now. And,
yeah.
I laid my first brick patio, when I was 18 years old. And then from there, I ended.
So at that age, that's when you started the company? At 18, or
what?
Oh, yeah, that's when you started the company, or what? How old were you when you started?
I was 23.
Okay, so 23, boom.
But
started
I was
his own
doing
landscape.
a little bit here and there, trimming and stuff like that.
Right.
And then I stopped and looked at why am I doing this? Because I needed it done, but that was money for me. So it was like a sidekick thing,
Okay.
And then it became, when the layoff came for the company and they changed names and started asking people if they wanted to take early retirements, finances, I wasn't old enough.
So let's get to what led up to the big, the big event, the accident that happened with you, all that stuff like that.
That was later, after I'd gone through saving like probably 15 people's lives.
Wow.
Whether I read by that time I knew about the Bible, I knew about God. He had stepped in and gave me that help, and he gave me the strength and the power and the readings.
Okay.
What Bible that I chose.
Yeah.
And all religions come together to that one point that my understanding they came together as one God.
Yeah. Because there's similarities and things between all of them.
And then and whether it was Buddhism, whatever it is, it's all good.
You can find
to each your own. I started saying, to each your own, and it's not right for me to judge anybody.
Right.
But when I asked God to help me during the time when my dad was doing, and my dad was fully at that point in time, he was still trying to get me out when my mom had passed away, and she passed away on my birthday.
Yeah.
But she was tired, and by then I'd already talked to her about God.
Right.
And you don't have to be afraid, Mom.
Yeah.
And then so the next 3.5 years before she passed, she got out of all that.
So you said he was still trying to
take my life.
Take your life.
Yeah, and called her on that day, which was my birthday, and he was gonna told her that I'm sending some guys over there to take your son out to put him in the desert.
Yeah.
And you'll get 10 more years out of your life. He was trying to pretend like he was saving her life.
Oh, yeah.
Because who's gonna say something like that? I mean, a man that would devise strategies to try to change it and keep his wife, but didn't want me in the way no more.
Yeah.
To protect her,
That's man.
That's, to me,
it's almost like a classic story. Like
it was false love,
Yeah, like
him,
some type of jealous. The father's jealous of the son.
I mean, and later on I learned about why. Why it seemingly was maybe that way, because I was the protector of many people, and other families, you know.
So you
Women would come to me and ask me for protection.
Okay,
And
so that kind of became
tell
your
me their
role.
stories about their uncles.
Yeah. So you actually
raping
started
them,
to
you know.
attract people who needed that type of help.
Yeah.
And then
by that time I had all that kind of tools
and your mother passed away.
skills, you know.
Your mother passed away on your birthday.
Yeah.
And you helped all these people because they were coming to you. And then, so how did this accident happen? Like, what led up? How did that happen?
God slowed my roll by, I guess, putting that. And it wasn't an event of, like, it was blamed, that I blamed God.
Mm-hmm.
But
you saw the purpose of it.
Protection, right. I started, because I started enjoying the, even to life itself, you know, almost taking a life, you know, that it was so close, you know, and I didn't realize how far I had gone, because God made me superior, man. You know, with that supernatural power, you know, and I was like,
so
I actually like a hero to.
So what happened? Tell us what happened.
And he got me to the point of nobody could beat me. Nobody could. I got that good at what I would do, but I prayed to him to make me like warriors from the past.
Right, it's your ancestors.
Yeah, and it made me like
strong, strength.
You know, but I kept it within myself, to myself. And he goes, man, how do you fight like that, bro?
So what happened? We're dying to know. I'm dying to know.
I don't want to teach nobody how to do anything that I know, you know.
Yeah.
Because then I started seemingly abusing it.
Yeah.
But my guilt was to God.
Right.
Because, you know, then he said, here comes the part where he's going to slow my roll. And I go, why am I slowing down?
Okay.
Why am I being depressed?
Hold on. You got to tell the story, though, about what happened. The accident. Like, I need to know.
Well, it's coming up.
Okay.
You know, the accident's coming up.
I need to know, man. I'm waiting.
I was using drugs. You know, I was using speed and stuff. And if that escalated into fantasy hero or whatever.
Okay, now you're like kind of delusional.
All my brothers are, you know, in life.
Yeah.
Not my immediate family, you know.
They're doing normal things.
Well, no, they were using too, you know, through that time, but they, you know, it escalated to the point of my brother went to prison, and one of my brothers, the other one had died, got shot in point blank range, and my sisters were out. One of them was homeless, and another one.
Wow. So everybody's kind of scattered around.
Yeah, scattered around.
Dealing with
no more family barbecues, you know.
Oh yeah.
But then my little sister got out of prison, and she had the same thing going on, trying to change her life, but from her mistakes and stuff. But still saving each other. We're looking out for each other, and I was working for her as like a protector, defender, you know, because that's what I was good at.
Right.
Know?
And she just got out of prison.
And
or whatever.
Right. And so we went off and made our lives seemingly better by, you know, our businesses that we had, and then still needing more money. Then we escalated into taking banks, you know, and those things like. You know, as a financial place where they were insured, you know, it was, you know, their money's going to be there all the time.
Right. So you had some hustles.
Yeah.
That you were running.
Right. Hustles besides side jobs.
Right. Yeah.
I said, well, yeah, I guess since I don't really have my own company, you know, it's landscape, you know, then that turned into, is it really a side job or is it?
Is it just a cover for right the gigs they like?
Yeah. And but being in the speed world, you know, it's like
everything's undercover like that. You're like all secret squirrel about everything.
Yeah, but you know, I learned to take my addiction to levels of doing good things while I was high.
Right.
Cleaning my shit.
Amazing. I got to that level too, man. I got to that level too, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy because
Yeah.
people are like, people don't even really. It doesn't even like hit them at first until
Right.
later. They kind of, I think they figure it out when you're gone.
Yeah.
And when you're there, they're just kind of like, hell yeah, let me take this, let me take this, let me take
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You know, and then later they're like, years later, or even they're like, oh man, that individual was somebody special.
Yeah.
You know.
And then God gave me vision to help people. You know, I would have bad dreams before. My dad's scaring me or doing something like that.
Yeah.
The guy's coming at me. You know, my dad coming at me. You know, what do you want to put me in the dirt? And that was the first. It wasn't really like deep fear, but it was like it's either him or me.
Yeah.
I could die by this man's hand because
Right.
nobody else would have came out. You know?
Right. So that's a crazy. It's like a theme throughout your whole fucking like teenage years and then some of this enemy stalking you. That's your father.
Yeah. And then
or pursuing you.
Yeah. And then making that notice. He was making that notice by then my friends. You know, he got in their ear and they started talking smack about me that I was paranoid because I was high on speed. You know.
Yeah.
But me carrying on and still helping women, you know, get away from their troubles.
Right.
Or abused kids.
It kind of like
pulling them and saving them.
It kind of like validated it for you, like made you feel like I'm not doing anything wrong because I'm helping these people.
Right.
So what am I? You know, like.
And people, you know, are falling into judgment of me. You know, we got to get rid of him. You know, and my dad fired me. I guess my dad was the guy that first time I was ever put on blast. You know, by his voice, and he knew a lot of people. You know?
Yeah.
And so that threw me like right under the bus. But I hung on to the bottom of the bus and crawled out when it stopped. You know, and I said, okay, I got to take a different angle at this. You know. Yeah. And nobody's gonna help make change in my life that way. You know, people need help. You know, they're gonna need help because I still didn't like the death and the home invasions that started and the killings that started from those home invasions when home invasions started. I got tired of hearing news that people were dying, families were dying when I was trying to bring families back together.
Okay.
And that essence of life, you know, and people coming at me from different angles and says, no, you're that do-gooder, you know. Yeah. I said, yeah, well, as a matter of fact, you know, when the police told me that they could put a name on me, and that was they called me the peacekeeper at first. Okay. You know, so I was trying to keep the peace.
Which, of course, you experience judgment and some bullshit just because of standing up for something.
From whether doing my drug, that was my excuse.
People want to find whatever type of
my
thing.
goodness was still but I wasn't looking at who was judging me.
Yeah.
At the point in time, but I was looking out for my life and
people,
and saving.
Which is what you're supposed to do.
Bringing that.
Yeah, don't ignore the haters.
Right. And today they call them, like, can I say it?
Whatever.
Profilers and gang stalkers.
Oh yeah, of course you can say that for sure.
They can kiss my ass, and I said they're the rot seed paparazzi.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
You know, and I don't mean ROTC.
Yeah. People don't even realize what that shit is and that it's affecting people all the time.
A lot of
especially
people that have addictions now.
Yeah.
And
I swear, I got some mommy at my crib. I mean, I'm always hearing, even to this day, and I'm not even on it like that anymore. I hear, I swear I hear them.
Yeah.
I swear I do.
Yeah. And now, well, they used to
maybe
do it right there
spirits.
point blank and have their cell phones, you know, cameras, and here he comes, here he comes.
Yeah.
I said, so what gives you the right to take a video coming up? He says, listen, man, I can do whatever. It's a free will. It's your free will. It's my free will. Because I freed myself from the world of hate and whatever crap you guys are going to do with that phone. Because you're always talking crap to me. Okay. And you're gonna pay one day and put me on video, and then they want to to try to make a video of me fighting with somebody, and I said, no, I'm just going to talk this guy down.
Yeah.
I'm not here for violence. I'm against violence.
Right.
But choose a different path, and try to save yourself. I said, I'm not perfect.
You have the ability to get physical.
I'm addicted to my drug of choice, but I'm not addicted to the point where I know that bad is going to take over.
Right.
I started utilizing that speed as my strength and my
you use it as a tool.
A tool to,
and you used it like they said. You use it, but not just to sit around and do weird shit. You use it
or be getting crazy, taking life with it, or anything like that.
This happens, people. This does happen. People do stuff like this.
Yeah, and I don't hear anything really of the goodness that people place upon the younger, to the kids, that are I started seeing fall into the drug world, and I said, I gotta try to quit,
Right.
I'm gonna make a difference.
Because most people aren't affected that way. Most people are not. Most people go left or the other way.
Right.
You took it and did something.
I had a different angle.
Right. Yeah.
I tried to keep.
You saw it as like a thing that. Yeah.
My life is like the trident.
Right.
Of Navy SEALs are doing. If I could say that, it's like the longest point in the center, but that's the narrowest path and dangerous.
Right.
That's my path.
It's the most low. I see what you mean. Like it's the most low and probably least respected, but it's the one.
It's the point.
It's the one that gives you the most righteousness.
Being centered
with God and shit.
Right, and being centered between.
Right, because it's so narrow that you can only go one way.
Love and hate, whatever.
Yeah, there's only one way to do it.
The super natural effect that I got from that is taking that center fork, and that's where the true love is.
Okay.
Unconditional love.
So
for each other.
You've done some miraculous. That's a miraculous thing. That's fucking. It's actually incredible. And this is now where you're at with the power from the supreme source.
Right.
Now, I'm dying to hear this part of the story.
Yeah,
Are we getting there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so here we come to the point of.
This is like the big trauma here.
The dark side was, I guess, at that point, I could use it as the dark side because it was going to slow me down, but God was slowing me down because He wanted me not to enjoy the aggressiveness of straightening somebody out because I had that strength.
As it was giving you a high in itself, kind of like
it was getting
addictive.
Addictive personality.
Yeah, like I like this too much. I like now I'm kind of drunk on power a little bit.
I don't and like I think Will Smith in his movie as that superhero that
Hancock.
Yeah. And then he was drinking through that time, and I was drinking through that time
because everybody was hating on him.
Yeah.
But he was still doing the right thing.
Like that too,
so he's kind of like Hancock then.
Yeah. So that's. I go, wow, that seems like me right
there. Like, fuck it, I'll do the right thing, but I'm like, nobody cares, and nobody cares. They actually
anyways,
hate me
but
more
I'm still,
for it.
But people tried me, help me, and I said, yeah, are you gonna help yourself? You can't set me up. I have a little girl I want to get back to one day, and then I want to go to be able to do better things in my life than just this all my life.
Okay.
So when are you people going to change, for get away from that kind of thing? your old man is beating you up now all these times, and then you don't want to leave him because you're afraid of him. But you gotta put your foot down sometime, or else you're gonna lose all your kids. You know.
Hold on, pause 1 second.